Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're excited about what I'm going to cover. There's a couple of things I need you to do, though. First off, you need to find some space. I want you to allow yourself to focus on you and only you. You deserve that, right? Yes, you do. So find a space in your home where it's just you. There's no distractions. Get comfortable. And I really want you to just focus on listening to this audio here. And I also need you to grab a pen and a paper. And I'm going to have you use that in a little bit later. So while you're grabbing your pen and paper and while you're finding some space so you can focus on yourself, I'm going to read a quote that I read over the weekend that really, really stuck to me. And I really loved it. It's by Emily Dickinson. And the quote is, "To live is so startling, it leaves time for little else." And I remember where I was reading this. I was reading this in a coffee shop early in the morning, and I found myself rereading it, the same line. And I really wondered to myself, is it possible to live this fully? I mean, if you can feel so awe of the experience of your daily life that you just simply don't have time to hurt about yesterday or worry about tomorrow or be consumed with what your life should be or what it should look like. I think many of us are so fixated on why, certain events happened in the past or what we can do to affect our future that we often just miss being present in the moment of now, being here in the moment now. And I personally believe that if you get stuck living outside of the present moment, outside of now, it's going to lead to bad habits. It's going to lead to poor life choices and life-limiting behavioral patterns. And we all have them or have had them or are continuing to have them, right? So how do we change that? How do we get focused on the now and we stop living in the future or focusing on the past? And I spoke about these life-limiting behaviors, and these can range from life-threatening, like drug and alcohol addiction, obesity, smoking, to more life-limiting behaviors, like someone that's always procrastinating, or maybe you're a hoarder, your house is a mess. Maybe you're a compulsive shopper or a gambler, or maybe you have the number one obsession I feel like everyone has these days, the smartphone obsession. They're addicted to their phones. Do you find yourself falling in any of these categories? And if you do, ask yourself, are you a self-sabotager? Do you find yourself always making the wrong choices when you so desperately want to make the right ones? Are you that person that, when you come across the fork in the road, you find yourself always taking the knife? Honestly, if we gathered a group of random people and ask them to be totally honest with themselves and with us, I know everyone would admit to have making bad choices in the past or could admit to sabotaging themselves in one way or another. And I'm sure without question, all of us could admit to at one point in time saying, this is the last time I'm going to blank. Fill in that blank. Last time I'm going to eat this, not exercise, lose control. Do any of these sound familiar? And while not all of our bad habits and choices may be life-ending, like, being a drug addict or an alcoholic, they're definitely life-defining because we're held hostage by our fear of letting go of our beliefs, our bad habits, our thoughts, our patterns. So if we want to move forward and live our lives in harmony and peace and productivity, we need to upgrade those worn-out behaviors that no longer serve us and replace them with new, healthier ones. And that's exactly what I want to go over today. Today, I'm going to go over 6 affirmations that are going to change your life. And I want you to write each one down. That's why I wanted you to grab a pen and a paper. And I came across all of these ideas from a book I read. And the authors of this book really borrow heavily from the grandfather of 12-step programs. Many of the concepts and expressions are going to be familiar to anyone who has been or knows anyone that's been in an AA program or similar programs like that. And the book covers some classic recovery principles that are able to transition to people that are maybe not addicted to drugs and alcohol and gambling and smoking, but maybe have a food addiction or an addiction to bad relationships. And it's going to help these non-addicts, I'll call them non-addicts, although they are addicted to something. They're going to help you find contentment and happiness in your life. And it's really cool because this book goes over a 6-step approach. So it takes it really, really simply and it guides you through the whole 6 steps. And it's going to help you improve your life and improve the life of any type of addict, whether it's an alcoholic, drug, compulsive gambler, or an uncontrollable overeater. And when it comes to food addiction, there's a good chance that you have remained blissfully unaware of your bad habits and your behaviors until some really significant damage has been done. But never fear, you can change and be the person that you want to be at any point in time in your life, and I'll show you how. And I want these 6 affirmations to serve as an inspiration for you and as a guide to keep yourself gratefully in the moment and trusting of the future. But to make them an effective tool in reconstructing how you live your life, again, what we want to do is construct our life and construct our environment. You need to make these affirmations, these 6 steps, as much a part of your day as brushing your teeth, taking a shower, getting in your boot camp session, okay? So this isn't something that I'm going to go over today and that you completely forget. I want this something to be always at the forefront of your mind. So let's go ahead and get started. Affirmation step number 1, to accept that something needs to change, and it's probably me. You know, nothing is going to change in your world unless you take that first step and you own that the person that needs changing is you. Not your spouse, not your friends, not your coworkers, not the coaches. It's you. It starts with you. And standing up and declaring this and owning it up and just accepting that, hey, I need to make a change. Something's got to give. This is the most potent step, the first step that you can take in altering your life and turning it around. Again, affirmation number 1, to accept that something needs to change, and it's probably me. Affirmation number 2, I love this one. I love this one so much. I don't know how to do this, but something inside me does. Man, that's powerful. It's like it's handing it over. It could be God. It could be the universe. It could be whatever you want it to be. It's as simple as sitting in silence and listening to that little tiny voice inside your head that says, I can do this, I can do this. But the power from this affirmation comes from the act of letting go. It allows you to believe that you are not alone, but that something out there, something, someone, they have your back. And all you have to do is trust it. So what this allows you to do is allows you to take action without fear, because you know that whatever you're going to do, whatever is going to happen, again, something has your back. Someone is there. Again, affirmation number 2, I don't know how to do this, but something inside me does. So this is going to allow you to move forward and take that next step. Gosh, I love that affirmation. Okay, let's move on to the third. Affirmation number 3. I will learn from my mistakes and stop defending them. Oh my goodness, our first impulse is to run from failure or pretend it never happened. Or maybe we blame our failures on an outside force, when in fact our mistakes, they're our best teachers. We need to stop defending them. Stop saying, I failed, I messed up, I'm never going to get this right. And instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this so I don't do it again next time? And the answer to our struggles is in the things that we do wrong. Mistakes are like the universe's classroom. So I want you to show up for class and don't forget your notebook and take notes and review them and study up so that you can get it right the next time. Again, affirmation number 3, I will learn from my mistakes and stop defending them. Affirmation number 4, I will make right my wrongs wherever possible. The power of I'm sorry, the freedom in owning when and how we may have hurt others or caused damage or maybe acted inappropriately. Basically, this affirmation is just about being good to one another, your spouse, your family, your friends, a stranger. 'Tis the season, right? And typically we know when we've done someone wrong. So if you've been meaning to say you're sorry to someone, do it. No one wants to carry around baggage like that. Be nice to your spouse. Be nice to your fellow boot campers. Do something kind for someone. Share the love. If you've had a big success in the past, share what has worked for you with others. That could make the biggest difference in other people's life. And there's nothing that will shine up your heart like giving back to others. So again, affirmation number 4, I will make right my wrongs wherever possible. Affirmation number 5, I will examine my life on a daily basis. And I talked about this last week with you all. And again, it's like a daily dusting off of our souls. It's looking back at each day and seeing where you've made progress and where you were the best version of you that you could be. And you also want to be honest with yourself, and you give yourself that opportunity by examining your life. And you acknowledge where you may have slipped, and you don't beat yourself up about it. But instead you take note and remind yourself that life is lived in the moment, one day at a time. And tomorrow you get to wake up and you get to start all over again. So stop again, get out of the future, get out of the past and live in the now. Live your life on a daily basis and look at your life. Are you making progress? Are you becoming a better version of yourself? Or are you stuck on the hamster wheel? If we're not examining our life on a daily basis, it is so easy to get stuck in a rut. It's so easy to be content with where we're at. And we don't want to be content with where we're at. And I'm not even talking about the weight loss realm or the health and wellness. I mean every aspect of your life, your relationship, your personal life, your life at work. Yeah, in the gym, but look at your life as a whole. Are you moving forward? Are you stuck in the same spot? Are you in quicksand? Or are you moving backwards? You'll never know until you examine your life. So look at it at a daily basis. And I want you to do it in the evening. I'm going to come back to this in a moment, and we'll go into more detail about how you can examine your life on a daily basis. But that's affirmation number 5. And affirmation number 6. I will live in love and service and gratitude and trust. So fear, it can't live alongside love. So go with love. Be loving to yourself and to those around you. Give back. And like I said, nothing makes your heart feel so full like doing for others. I want you to be grateful. So instead of keeping score of what isn't, I want you to start taking daily and even hourly inventory of what you're thankful for. It works. It just does. So give it a shot. And I want you to trust yourself, trust the universe, trust that even if you can't see it or define it, something out there has your back and that you will get to where you want to be if you just trust yourself and you move forward and you take action. So again, affirmation number 6, I will live in love, loving yourself, loving others, giving back, and in service to others, your friends, your family, your fellow boot campers, and gratitude, present moment thinking, being in the now and being grateful. And lastly, in trust, that someone has your back. You're going to move forward, no fear, okay? So let's recap that. Your 6 affirmations. Number 1, something needs to change, and it's probably me. Number 2, I don't know how to do this, but something inside me does. And don't worry if you don't know how to do it. We've got your back too at Fast Fitness. Number 3, I will learn from my mistakes and stop defending them because they're no longer serving you. Number 4, I will make right my wrongs wherever possible. Get rid of that baggage. And number 5, I will examine my life on a daily basis, looking back each day, seeing where you've made progress and where you need a little bit more work. And lastly, I will live in love and service and gratitude and trust. I love those 6 affirmations. Write them down on a note card. Recite them to yourself every morning. Maybe you just like one of them. Honestly, my favorite affirmation is, actually, I like all of them a lot, but my two favorite ones, I'll narrow it down to two, is something needs to change and it's probably me. Again, it starts with you and only you, no one else. And you are in the circumstances and the situation you are because of you. But again, if you just own that, the power is in your hands because you have the power to make the change if you just are willing to take control of your life. And then my other favorite one is, I don't know how to do this, but something inside me does. Boy, sometimes I feel like I just jump in with both feet. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I'll figure it out if I just take that first step. So those are my two favorite, and I tend to really recite those every day. But if you love all of them, say all of them every morning. If you like just one, maybe just repeat the one every morning. But I want to touch a little bit more on fear, because I believe that letting go of fear and expectations is going to allow you to enjoy life to the fullest and in every moment. You know, the moment we decide that things don't have to be a certain way, we can create the possibility that they could be better than we know to imagine them. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't want things. It just means that we can experience a lot more joy if we learn to want without fearing. It is possible to visualize a goal and work towards it, and simultaneously know that even if it doesn't pan out the way that you maybe imagined it would pan out, you can still experience happiness. So instead of fixating on the outcome you want to create, focus on the joy in the process. Underneath those specific goals or desires, there's a more general need, and you need to identify that. That's your big why. So again, instead of always focusing on the results, the goal, which is important to put down, I want you to focus on just enjoying the process. Because you're at A, right? The first step. And you've got to get all the way to B, your 10th step. Maybe it's your 10th step. But when you hit that moment, when you reach that goal, it's such a short moment in comparison to the time it took for you to get there. So if you're not enjoying that process of getting to your goal, then what is the point? I want you to enjoy the process, to be able to be in the now, in the moment, and appreciate that although you are not there yet, you still are having a good time, you appreciate your body, and you're still experiencing happiness, okay? So again, focus on the joy of the process of getting there. Now, if you want to get a little more in depth about these affirmations and how you can use them to change your life, I highly recommend the book, and I highly recommend you do it through Audible or some kind of audio book that you can listen to while you're in your car. Maybe you're cooking in the kitchen. I even listen to my audiobooks when I'm showering, putting on makeup, getting ready for the day. While I'm driving to work, I listen to my books any chance I get. And it just gives you that opportunity to turn your car or your shower or your kitchen into an education workspace. You get to educate yourself. And again, we're all about moving forward, improving your life. And this is a great way to do it. The book that all of this is referenced from is called Gratitude and Trust: 6 Affirmations That Will Change Your Life by Paul Williams and Tracy Jackson. Again, that's Gratitude and Trust: 6 Affirmations That Will Change Your Life by Paul Williams and Tracy Jackson. So here's what I need you to do now. I need you to grab that pen and paper. Something has been weighing in on my mind, and it's a way for us to reflect on our life on a daily basis. And for some reason, 10 minutes a day is popping in my head. So a 10-minute a day journal entry is what I want you to start doing over the next few days. In fact, I'm going to post a new topic for you to journal at the end of each day. And honestly, there are 2 times of the day that you would really benefit from this. But again, you need to make it a habit. So remember, anchor this new journaling habit to something you already do. So you can spend 10 minutes first thing in the morning. You could read the question, you could reflect, think about the previous day, and fill in your journal entry. Spend 5-10 minutes. It doesn't have to take very long at all. Or you can journal right before you go to bed, later in the evening. And here's your first journal entry. 10 minutes a day journal entry number 1. This is what I want you to fill out today. Something needs to change. So we often make that first step, that first change. We start to see progress, and then maybe, boom, we stop. We may change one thing, maybe two. But the truth is that life is really fluid and things don't really stay the same, right? It's always changing. And the changes that we may have made yesterday that were, really, really necessary, may not be the same ones that you need today. Because if you're making changes, you're improving, the things that you're going to need are really going to change. So we need to constantly reevaluate where we're at, what we're doing, what's right, what's wrong, what needs improving, where are you progressing well in. So what I want you to do today and right now, since you've got your pen and paper, is I want you to take another look. Where are you at now? What's working and what isn't? What needs to change? Is that something do you need to change? Well, this is an opportunity for you to start making those lists. So again, think to yourself, where are you at now in your health and fitness goals, in your life, in your relationships? And in regards to your fitness goal, what is working for you? What has been going well? What changes have you made? If you need to pause this because you're writing, that's totally fine. And then, what is not going well? What are you struggling with? Again, this is a good place to start making those lists and to reflect and get an idea of where you are at now and what you need to do to be able to move forward. Okay? So write that down, pause this tape or stop it, and take a moment to really, again, write down where you're at, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what's working, and what isn't. And I want you to post that on our private group because I would really, really like to see what those entries are. And then tomorrow I'm going to have a new journal entry for you. So if you have any questions over anything that we covered today, please don't hesitate to ask me. I just read over this book in the last few weeks and it made a really big impact on me because again, it just attacks things from a different perspective, more of a mindset, and more of a place where you just want to become a better person and treat others in a better way and be more grateful for where you're at. So I hope this was helpful. If these audio bits are something that you really enjoy, let me know. I would love to make more of these for you, especially over topics that I think you will find very helpful. So I hope you have a great rest of your night, day, evening. Take some time, fill out your journal, and we'll talk soon. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye.